what's up? And hey, we're about to do it for the channel right now. One of the styles of videos I'm going to do is talk about topics right now in bass fishing. And if you have kept up at all, one of the biggest topics right now, and it's been talked about for 2 weeks, is should forward-facing sonar be banned from professional tournaments or banned in general? And I'm going to share my thoughts on it. And I'm going to then share what I think is a bigger problem in fishing right now, okay? Hopefully I'm not rambling too much. But guys, I'm going to talk, camera, no editing, and we're going to do this. I've already done this once, and my stuff messed up from iPhone storage. So, I mean, here we go. I need to knock this out. So, right now, I think what brought this all about was the last 3 Bassmaster Elite Series tournaments, okay? Smallmouth events, dominated by Livescope, as they're going to be. And I mean, like I said, it's just a smallmouth deal. I mean, us down here in the South, you know, yeah, we don't fish how they do up there, smallmouths, whatever. But the viewership went down. I'm going to get into that. That's why I brought the South down. You know, this part of the country that watches a lot of bass fishing and keeps up with it. So the viewership, I guess, is down. All right, now the viewers, fans, and I'll share my thoughts. They don't want to see a guy fishing on Bass Live, whatever, looking at a screen, okay, and throwing at fish that, you know, we don't get to see because the Bass does not have the screen up there right now. They try to record it, but they say the viewers don't want to watch that. A fan doesn't want to watch that. It's boring. It's, you know, I don't relate to it. I don't know what they're throwing at. There's all these excuses. But I want to see, and this is what, you know, if any of you guys know Zona, Mercer, I just went blank on the other young guy's name, man, that's kind of done a lot with bass lately, websites, all the, you know, tournament stuff. I want to see the statistics, because I'm a math guy, right? The viewership of these 3 tournaments compared to, like, pre-Livescope, okay? Because in a normal smallmouth event without Livescope, those dudes were still looking at the screen, most of them, all right? I mean, they had 360 or they 2D down imaging, whatever. They're looking at a screen and they're fishing still. Like they're you know, it was boring, okay? I think a lot of people don't watch these smallmouth events because they can't relate to it. I mean, and let's just be real. I mean, the Lay Lake, the pros went to Lay Lake this year, went to Okeechobee, Santee. Those guys are jigging, frogging. People want to watch that, okay? Now, Okeechobee was one, and Santee, I believe Santee's where Joey's Funnest won. Tyler Rivette, Joey's Funnest won 2 tournaments that people would never thought Livescope would win. But that was just them, okay? Incredible what they did. I mean, it's sweet. I enjoy that. Seeing how fish can be caught differently than what you used to do. And that it's just, it was neat for me as a guy that's fished for a long time. I caught fish before Livescope, by the way, and I now catch fish with the Livescope, okay? So I've done both, all right? I've adapted, you can say. I've luckily have Livescope on my boat and can catch fish with it, okay? So, anyway, but like these 3 smallmouth tournaments came about, and now it's all over YouTube. All these pros that for 2 years didn't want to say a word about it, now they are. And I think it's because of the viewers aren't watching, is their excuse. Randy Blockett, who I work with, has been talking about this for 2 years. He's been on it hard. Now, he's not all about tournaments, though. He's more in for the whole realm of fishing. Just, you know, herding fish, catching fish we never did, herding fish population, the whole conversation side, conservation. So that's Randy's more bigger picture than just tournament fishing, okay? He's been talking about it. It's even been, you know, just watched Bass University earlier where he talked about it. So, but for tournament fishing, should it be banned? And the pros that are more up on it, they're saying it's because of the bass viewer side. But I just think they're, you know, they've not adapted and they've had a bad year. I mean, this was just a year to where younger guys won. You look at the classic qualifying list. I mean, it's just some of your typical names are not in it. Now, Jason Quiristy, he kind of slid right in there, which I'm glad because Jason, I like Jason. I like all the pros, by the way. I don't have a pro I don't like, but Jason, I mean, he slid right in there, and they're going to Grand Lake, which is a lake. He's Oklahoma, could be considered one of his home lakes. Okay, so Jason did slide in, but there's some guys that didn't, and they're, you know, people are saying it's because the young guys know how to use forward-facing sonar. Well, them young guys just went out and adapted to it and learned. Okay, now you don't need it to win. Brandon Cobb, who competed, and I mean, he was compete for Angler of the Year, didn't have it on his boat. I mean, why are we not talking about that? I mean, let's put that out there. There's tournaments here locally. A big high school tournament this year. Big one was one without it. And guys, those kids that won it, they're going to be on a podcast. podcast will be posted after this on my real life fishing page. Those kids, I had them on. I mean, they're going up against kids, guys, with $60,000, $80,000 boats. With, now of course they got a dad as a boat captain. They got a boat captain, but they're going up against that, and they still won without Livescope. Okay, so you don't need it to win. All right, now it helps. If it helps, if you sell out to it and learn how to use it. And that's what I've done. I've had the 34 transducer, guys, for 6 months. I've sold out to it. Ever since I got it, that was my go-to. My thing was, I'm going to learn this thing, and I did it, and it's been incredible what my last 3 months has been like. I'll just say I've caught a lot of fish over 5 pounds, big. I mean, it's been an incredible summer, and it's all because of it. I'll tell you that right now. But I decided to learn it, and I have an opportunity to. So I fish for a living. I guide, I do content, I create content for BFD. I'm an editor, so I'm in an opportunity where I'm on the water more. So I decided to learn it. Okay, normal people that work 5 days a week don't have that opportunity. So one thing I do now is with my lessons, I try to teach people. Maybe you're one of those watching. I try to teach stuff that I've learned to help you in a shorter time. Okay, I don't fish tournaments. I fished 2 this year, and one day I might fish tournaments, but that's just not, I mean, it's fun, but I don't really want to get into that right now. That's a whole other deal. But we need to talk about now what the bigger problem is with fishing. I think professional fishing, bass fishing. And it kind of goes 2 and 2. Livescope can be part of the pie. Okay, let's just say it's part of it. But the bigger problem is payouts are not going up. Entry fees are getting higher. Everything is getting more expensive. That's not just the world's more expensive, but anyway, but payouts are staying here. They actually dropped for the MLF Invitationals. Guys, they were $80,000 this year for first place. I mean, come on. I mean, those guys anyway. So payouts are dropping. But our equipment is getting more expensive. Okay, and this is what makes me mad, or upsets me. Like some of our professional anglers, and they set the toll. I mean, me as a kid, I looked up to those dudes and watched them, right? There are kids right now, by the way, watching. But, they might not be watching these pros, but they're over here, and my computer's right here. They're on YouTube watching John B. Guggen Squad, okay? There's a reason they're watching those dudes, all right? So they can relate to him in some ways. But let me tell you how. When they turn on Bass Live and see, or MLF, I'm not just going Bass, MLF, whatever they watch, and they see a dude with 6 units, 6 screens on their boat, those kids can't relate to him, okay? And so we're using all these graphs, 6, 5, to catch green fish. Are you kidding me? I mean, guys, we can catch fish without them, right? So, I mean, like, you don't need 6 is what I'm saying. I mean, like 5, I mean, come on. I just, it just blows my mind that that's what we've done. We have $100,000 boats. We have 30,000, 15 to 30,000 electronics, all these trolling motors. I mean, big time trolling motors. 3,000. I mean, there's so much money tied into it to catch a green fish, but the payouts are still here. So we're putting more into it, and it's here, and it's not, I don't know, leveling out. So anyway, that's my problem I see for the future of fishing. Okay, it's became a game to where like it's golf. I'll say it. I always will say it. Now anybody can fish. That's the good thing about it. Anybody can play golf too, but you're about to see my point. Anybody can in Arkansas can go buy a license, or your state. Arkansas license are $10.50 for a fishing license. You can go fish down by the bank. You can go fish a pond. Okay, so anybody can fish. Now golf, I guess anybody can get clubs and hit golf balls, but it's better to be at a course. But in these big tournaments, it's it's kind of hard to go to a gunfight with a knife. All right, guys, I was a football coach, baseball coach. Okay. There was always a levelness in playing field, okay? There's kind of that levelness. Now, the unlevelness, I know in coaching, whatever, can be a better athlete. But, in fishing, you don't need all this is what I'm saying. Some of the best guys in Arkansas fishing competitively in these smaller Pro-Am tournaments don't have all the best equipment. But, I mean, it's going to where, like, the pros at the top level are kind of showing it to, like, hey, you got to have this to catch a green fish. And you don't, okay? So what I think you can do to fix it, and I've talked about that. And some of you guys, and like I say, if you have 5 units on your boat, I'm not against you. I can be your best friend. That's you. If me one day, I'm 31, I have a kid, I have another one on the way. I can't go out and buy this stuff because I want to make sure I can put food on the table for my kids, right? I don't want to make my wife, anyway, there's a lot of stuff, so that's just me. But let's say I won the lottery, all right? Let's say somebody just wrote me a check and said, go pick your boat out. Oh yeah, I'll go get the boat I want with 5 units, I guess, sure. But not right now, so I'm not going against you guys. Say that real quick. I'm not. I just don't like that it's kind of heading to where, like, there's that levelness is so spread out, okay? And that's just my point. You know, let's say you go to a gunfight, it's bad to go with a knife, okay? That's just my point there. So how we fix it, and I think this will relate to more people, okay? If you've not clicked off already because you're mad at me because I talked about 5 graphs on a boat. This is how I think you fix it. And this isn't just my idea. This has actually been, I've heard Jacob Wheeler talk about this, other pros. But let's limit the graphs. Like, I've heard 4. I think it needs to be 3. I think you say, hey, Jacob Wheeler, pick 3. Hey, Kyle Welcher, pick 3. What that does is then, like, how are you going to pick 3? Are you going to put 2 at your dash, 1 up front? Or are you going to put 1 at the steering wheel, 2 up front? Then hey, you can do it for different tournaments maybe. I mean, that maybe give him that option. But like Brian Thrift, what would Brian Thrift do? I don't know Brian. I mean, dude's a legit angler. He caught him before Livescope. He caught him after Livescope. All right. So like, I think as me as a viewer and a normal person as a viewer, it would be interesting and would just, you know, kind of shake the pie up a little bit. I mean, are you going to have 1 up front? Or are you going to have 2? Or are you going to put 3 up front for all I care? I don't know what you're going to do. So I think that's one thing that could happen. And, you know, it could be fishing poles. Hey, guys, like, I mean, how many tournaments you watch with 40 poles on the deck? I don't got 40 poles. I mean, there's my poles right there, okay? People think I got a lot of fishing poles. I do this for a living. And I don't know how many poles I got. My family thinks I have too much, but I really don't have enough. I mean, I need more. I mean, gosh, I think I might have 16 that I use, okay? But like, I mean, 40 be nice. I mean, I'd love to have one for this. So maybe limit poles. I don't know. That was real cool about the original MLF setup. I want to say that. The original MLF derbies, right? Whenever it started, 2015, whatever, 16, where they just got a boat given to them. That was a boat with a 175 or 200. 2 graphs, if I remember. 1 at the steering wheel, 1 up front. And those dudes got put on a lake. All right, hadn't practiced. Supposedly they didn't know about it, right? Now they might have had some history there, but like, you know, these guys got put in a hotel with like 5 lakes around it, and so like, but that's why people jumped to that. That's why, like, I loved it because I got to watch how KVD, how Timmy Horton, all these dudes broke down water so fast. Because me at that time, I was a football coach, a college coach. I couldn't fish for certain parts of the year, and then like the winter, I fished a lot. You know, anyway, I'm not gonna go there. So I got to watch Skeet Reese, Edwin Evers, these dudes break down bodies of water without practicing, fast watch. And dude, I loved it. And I think that's why they did so good. Then of course they broke from bass. That's a whole nother story. But people related to that, okay? I related to it. You're probably relating to it. So anyway, that's just my thoughts. Should it be banned? No. But we need to figure out other stuff in the fishing world. It's not Livescope problem. I'm gonna tell you right now, I use Livescope. I talked about it earlier. Ever since I got that 34 transducer, I sold out to it. It's hunting, not fishing, I will say. It's different. I caught fish 2011 off roads, brush piles, 2010 off roads, brush piles, you know, offshore with a crankbait, jig, okay? So I've done that. And now with Livescope, I get to do more, okay? And this summer, it's been fun, okay? I mean, I had it last year, right? I was doing content for Fish the Moment, BFD, but ever since I got that 34, I've sold out to it, and it's been fun for me to catch fish like I never have before, or caught them in places never have before, because believe me, I have. And that's just, you know, one of the things I've done. I'm not going to share all that juice with you guys yet. I've talked about some BFD videos. So anyway, I'm about to put a video up here of one of my tools for Livescope, all right? Watch it, or let me know what you think about it. Also, let me know what you think about forward-facing sonar, okay? If you think it should be banned or not banned. It's here right now. Okay, if you have the opportunity to get it, I would pick that electronic over anything else. Take your power poles off your boat, sell them, go get you a Livescope if you don't have it, okay? Now, you might be like, forget you, Jimmy. That's cool. All right, hey, check this video out right here. All right, this has been my #1 lure this summer, and it's been because of forward-facing sonar. Appreciate you guys. Please subscribe to the channel, like it, and hey, we will see you on the next one.